Tommy's trip to France.
Tommy's trip to France.
Tommy was so proud of his school social studies project.
Tommy was so proud of his school's social studies project.
Tommy was so proud of his school social studies project. He had spent 4 months working on a model of the Eiffel Tower. He couldn't wait to show it to his friends. Tommy had worked hard, and his teacher had given him top marks.
Tommy had worked hard, and his teacher had given him top marks.
Now he was taking it home to show his parents. But first, he wanted his friends to see it. Tommy's friends were very impressed when they saw his Eiffel Tower model. The real Eiffel Tower is more than 300 meters high. Said Tommy. My model is half a meter high. So it's 1/600th of the size of the real Eiffel Tower. I know about the Eiffel Tower, said Lucy. Mr. Eiffel designed it for a big exposition in Paris, France in 1889. I bet Mr. Eiffel would be impressed if he saw your model, said Kim. But he can see it, said Andy. RK5 can take us back in time to meet Mr. Eiffel. Yes, let's go, yelled Sam. It will be fun. Tommy didn't need much persuading. He gently pulled RK5 from his pocket. He asked the little robot if he could take them to meet Mr. Eiffel in Paris, France. Of course I can take you to the studio of Alexandre Gustave Eiffel, said RK5. RK5 gave Tommy the code. Tommy pressed the numbers on the little robot's number pad. There was a flash of light and a cloud of blue smoke. When the smoke cleared, Tommy, his friends, and the model were no longer in the park. When Tommy opened his eyes, he saw that they were in a big room. There were drawings, plans, and models everywhere. The biggest model was on a table in the center of the room. It looked almost like Tommy's Eiffel Tower model. Look at this one, said Sam. It's huge. Sam ran toward the tower model. Taffy also ran toward it. Just before Sam reached the model, she tripped over Taffy. She fell against the table. The tower model fell to the floor and broke into hundreds of pieces. "Oh no!" cried Kim. "Now we're in trouble. I can hear someone coming." Before they could do anything, the door opened. A man with a beard stood in the doorway. He looked down at the broken model. He had a horrified look on his face. He fell to his knees and put his head in his hands. The man was Gustav Eiffel. He was so upset to see his model destroyed that he didn't even wonder where the children came from. He assumed that they were friends of his own children. He began speaking in French. RK5 translated for the children. "I am due to present my model to the committee for the World's Fair in 2 hours. All is lost. What can I do?" A little voice said, "You could take my model if you like." RK5 translated as Tommy held out his model for Mr. Eiffel to inspect. "This is very good," he said enthusiastically. "It's exactly like a tower I have dreamed about building. It looks like my work." "It is your work, Mr. Eiffel," said Tommy. Mr. Eiffel didn't wait for an explanation. He took Tommy's model and rushed toward the door. On his way out, he asked the children to wait in the kitchen until he got back. Tommy led the others out of Mr. Eiffel's studio. They found the kitchen by following the wonderful smell of food. There were 2 children sitting in the kitchen. When they saw Tommy and the others, they smiled and said, "Bonjour." RK5 said bonjour meant good day or hello. The French children were delighted to see that this little robot could translate for them. The little boy said, "Merci, petite machine." RK5 translated. The boy said, "Thank you, little machine." All the children had fun learning new French and English words. Lucy wrote down each new word as they learned it. The children had fun getting to know each other. The boy's name was Eduard, and the girl's was Claire. When Mr. Eiffel returned, he had a big smile on his face. He told them that the model Tommy had given him made quite an impression on the committee. He was confident that the design would be selected. "I just don't understand how you could have a model of a design I have seen in my head," said Mr. Eiffel. Tommy didn't try to explain. He said that he was pleased the design impressed the committee. "Oh, how rude of me," said Mr. Eiffel. "I have not offered you anything to eat. I will ask the cook to make a tasty French meal." After Mr. Eiffel hurried across the room to see the cook, Sam said, I've never tasted a French meal. Soon the table was full of dishes. Each smelled and looked delicious. Bon appetit, said Mr. Eiffel. Tommy and his friends filled their plates with food they did not recognize. This one tastes wonderful, said Kim. What is it? Those are frog legs, replied Eduard. Kim made a face and everyone laughed. Andy stopped laughing when Claire told him that he was eating snails. The children enjoyed the food in spite of the unusual things they had eaten. After eating, Tommy said merci to Mr. Eiffel and told him it was time for them to leave. Mr. Eiffel and his children waved goodbye to Tommy and his friends. Tommy showed off his French by shouting au revoir. Are we going back now? Asked Kim. No, let's stay in Paris. But I'll ask RK5 to take us back to present time. Then we can see the finished Eiffel Tower, suggested Tommy. That's a great idea, said Sam. Tommy pressed the code numbers on RK5's number pad. After a flash of light and a cloud of blue smoke, they were standing in front of the Eiffel Tower. Wow, it's even more impressive than I thought, said Lucy. They listened to a tour guide. She was giving information about the tower. The Eiffel Tower is made of iron. It was erected for the Paris Exposition of 1889. Of the 700 proposals submitted in design competition, one was chosen. It was a creation from the French engineer Gustave Eiffel, said the guide. She continued. It was the tallest structure in the world until the Empire State Building was built about 40 years later. At the opening of the tower, Gustave Eiffel said that he thanked the children of America, said the guide. Nobody knew what he meant by that. Tommy and his friends laughed. They knew Mr. Eiffel's thanks were for them. Mr. Eiffel also designed the iron skeleton inside the Statue of Liberty, the guide continued. The statue was a gift to the people of America from the people of France. It was an exciting visit to France, but it was time to return home. Within seconds, RK5 had transported them back to the big blue bench in the park.